at the top of the plateau or whatever, with no incident apart from Drava that noticed fire or lights or something like that down in the pit. He woke us up to let us know about that, but we didn't know what to make of it, so we just went back to our rest. Then we went back inside. We took care of Cruncher because he was still around, so we had to put him down.
We gave him every
And
chance, but he didn't take it.
yeah,
Unfortunate.
and then we went through the door that was described. It took us a while to find the door. So we knew it was behind the throne, the chief's throne, but it was hard to find, and I don't remember who figured it out in the end. But once we found it, beyond it, we found another room, a long corridor, and then another room. And in the other room was Ribnugget, the goblin that's undead, we think, along with some weird creatures that we know as players what they are, but I don't think our characters figured it out.
I think Sevro and Quillip did fight them, so you probably should know.
Something like them. Yeah, they didn't look exactly like the ones you fought, but I believe you do know what a sin spawn is. Also because of, remember that this is now 16, 17 years after Rise of the Rune Lords, where sin spawns would have been unheard of. But since then, there are more stories about these creatures, so you would recognize them as sin spawn.
A fight ensued where mistakes were made. We held a corridor. I guess the idea was that only one person would be at the front line and would manage things, but that was not the good choice. So a lot of people went down and back up and back down, and in the end we managed to defeat all of the enemies, but Drava succumbed to her. Yeah, she succumbed to a bleeding wound that she suffered from Ripnugget's weapon, I think.
Yep, that's right.
Wow, she actually died?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Oof. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
And that's pretty much where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Also, Ketra almost died, and well, because she also get the same bleeding wound in dying condition. And Toren, by sheer coincidence, was dropped by a sin spawn instead of Rip Nugget, so he kind of dodged the bullet on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, Toren and Ketra are down but alive. Drava is gone, and that leaves Quillip and Sevro bloodied but still standing.
Yeah. And before we jump back into that situation, let's start with a cold open. And we're seeing Niella's cottage, the little cottage that you stopped at on your way out here, Drava's mother. Humble little cottage and usually nicely tended garden. But as you might remember when you stopped by, the garden looked weird. Everything in there dead. The soil freshly tilled and turned over as if somebody had recently tried to mitigate the worst damage that has happened. And we're opening on that cottage, and it's sitting where it's always sat on the southern side of Sandpoint, where the lanes give out into the kitchen gardens and chicken coops. The herb beds are still salt killed from the brine that came earlier. Niela has not yet had a chance to replant them. She's at the kitchen table, sleeves rolled up, and her hands folded on the table. She's been sitting like this since dawn. And there's a cup of tea in front of her, and it's obviously cold. There's a second cup sitting across from her, also cold. Outside in the salt-killed garden, something moves through the herbs that aren't really there anymore. There's a red seagull, standing on the fence post, watching the door. And the wind of the Lost Coast is particularly unkind today. And it has this like very salty smell that it carries with it. But it's salty and almost a little rotting, like a tide pool, when the water is low. We're back inside and we see the cup across the table shaking just very slightly. Not from wind, looks more as almost like from heavy footsteps. You see these little concentric circles rippling through the tea. And Niela reaches across the table, puts her palm over the rim of the cup, holds it down, and she closes her eyes and says, "Not yet. Please. Not yet." And the ripples in the cup stop. And she opens her eyes, looks at the door. She looks as if she's waiting for something. And then we fade to black. And we come back in the pit. In the bowels of the Devil's Platter. Not too far down yet. Just one level down, maybe 10, 15 feet below the surface of this plateau. And you're in this room, this chamber that is so different from the goblin warrens that you fought your way through previously. The walls here are 10 feet high, and they are white stone, but they have redwood paneling running along the lower 2 feet. And those panels are trimmed in gold. So incredible craftsmanship, beautifully arranged, very valuable materials. There are some glowing flames flickering in sconces on the walls that give the chamber its bright illumination, and the floor is polished red stone with a large inset gold 7-pointed star inlaid in the floor. There are some wooden shelves filled with books, tablets, and scrolls standing in the room or sitting against the walls, and a wooden desk heaped with additional books and scrolls here in the north. To the east and west, 3 steps lead up to 10-foot wide alcoves, and in each of these alcoves sits a black stone platform edged in gold runes and adorned with another gold inlaid 7-pointed star. But really what you're probably paying most attention to is Drava's body on the floor, kind of like leaning against the wall, and the way that Quillip had arranged her, trying to stop the bleeding unsuccessfully. Quillip still up to his elbows, covered in blood, literally just gave up on her after Sevro made him understand that it's too late. Toren is still unconscious. Ketra... Oh, remind me, was Ketra also unconscious? I'm sorry.
Same, yeah.
Ketra is still
I think we're
unconscious.
all up besides
It's
yeah.
only Sevro
Yeah.
and Quillip here now.
And Sevro and Quillip in pretty rough shape. What do you do?
Quillip is going to mix up a couple of elixirs to get those two back up. He's gonna pour it down their throats.
Mm-hmm. That's for Toren.
So I take it I'm no longer. I was sickened, so I guess I could be administered to this, right?
When you're unconscious, then it doesn't really matter.
I don't know why it's not letting me roll that, but I'll try to. Oh, I can do it this. Okay, and this would be for Ketra.
Okay. All right, as you come to, before we forget about it, it is 96 XP for the encounter. And then I can remove the dead sin spawn and all of those bodies. So we have a little more room to maneuver here.
I see some gear on this goblin before he goes away.
Yes. You can definitely grab some of his gear.
So, how many hit points should we, or how many XP should we have?
96. Oh, total? 196.
Yeah. 196. Quillip will mention once Ketra is up and routine up there that Drava said he's a grave thing. Grave Knight.
I'm sorry, what?
The goblin, he's undead because he's a grave knight. That's what she said.
What does that mean?
Quillip, I don't have any idea what you're talking. I must have gotten hit on the head hard or lost a lot of blood or something. She's like feeling around at her wounds, and she's like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. And somebody better help Ketra. She doesn't look good.
You talk about yourself in the third.
I'm Ketra. I mean, and by that I mean Drava. Somebody better help Ketra. Somebody better help Drava. She doesn't look good.
No, she's gone. She's gone.
What do you mean gone? She was just right behind me. And as Toren like springs back on his feet, he also walks inside and looks. Oh god, no. How the hell did that happen?
It was
Just
probably my fault, if anything. But we were just fighting, and she took stepped in front of me and took a dog slicer, I guess, to the chest and just went down. That thing was nasty.
Yeah.
Well, you probably shouldn't lose the breastplate from that thing.
Why not?
Oh yeah, don't touch that.
What?
Yeah, you look over, and the remains that are in that hallway, all that's left is the breastplate and the dog slicer. The body of the goblin has like almost melted away, it looks like. And you can see on the inside of the breastplate, there's this like gummy layer of foul-smelling organic matter that's like glistening and oozing. It's pretty gross.
Can we actually take the recall knowledge check to remember what the grave knights actually are?
Yeah, I don't think Drava had a chance to explain it in detail when she recognized him. She did mention that it's some form of undead. So you're welcome to try a recall knowledge and see if you can remember.
There's a macro for that, I remember.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah, Ketra is like picking. At first, she's like picking up. She's like, "Well, armor's armor," And then she sees this on the inside, and she's like, "Ugh, guess we'll have to clean it."
Yeah, and Ketra, I mean, your head is still kind of singing from the heavy blows and the deep cuts you've taken. And Quillip, your head is not in the game either. You're still, staring at Drava, wondering if there's anything that you could have done. Maybe you should have been more assertive about changing tactics. And Toren and Sevro, though, you do remember, especially now that she called it out, stories about grave knights, about essentially cursed armor that takes over its wearer and turns them into an undead creature that is very much symbiotic with the armor, and it almost is impossible to get rid of the armor once it has taken hold. And also, it is if you kill the wearer, the armor will just restore its owner, given enough time. So the only way to truly destroy a Grave Knight is to obliterate the armor.
Well, Toren will try to do just that, although he would be right now incredibly upset, so he will not explain to Ketra what he was doing, so he will probably just ask him, oh, please, if you may take, and he will take the armor, put it on the ground, and try to stomp on it with all his might.
And you try to stomp on it, and it's kind of like that scene at the Council of Elrond where Gimli tries to destroy the ring, because it's like you stomp on it as hard as you can, and it feels like your foot just bounces right off, and the armor just sits there, not a dent in it. All of those like leering faces on it, almost as if it's mocking you, laughing at you, and you realize there's nothing you can do to even put a dent in it.
Toren, I understand you're emotional right now, but I don't think that's I I don't think that's helping anything. I don't know why.
No, we need to destroy it, otherwise Rib Nugget's just gonna come back. It's Grave Knight armor.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
technically,
sure.
strikes should be considered magical if that counts. Yeah, and well, if just striking doesn't work, then Toren will set himself ablaze.
Do you think holy water would help? I've got some of that somewhere if it hasn't been smashed.
But Toren will nod and say it's worth a try. He will actually produce some of his own holy water and try to smash it across the breastplate.
Okay. You smash it against the breastplate, the vial shattering, the water washing over it, and it doesn't seem to do anything to the armor. Some of the water kind of like runs off the armor and runs onto the inside, and on the inside, as soon as it touches that like, gooey, organic, foul matter inside, that starts to hiss and melt and drip out of the armor as if it's, badly damaged by the holy water itself. But the armor does not seem to be bothered by it.
Okay. Well, I guess
Do we-
now we can see it, and in this case, Toren will try to take from the bottom of the armor to the ground and split it up like a maw of a great beast for Ketra to pour the holy water all over the insides.
Yeah, sure. Ketra doesn't know anything about this stuff, so she's just following his lead. She has
Okay,
3
so-
vials of holy water, and if it seems like it's necessary, she'll use all 3.
All right, so you go about it. I would say it probably takes 2 of them. You like uncork them, douse the whole inside of the armor in the holy water, there's like again this hissing sound, this foul smell that comes from it. All of the inside of that soft tissue starts to liquefy as the water touches it, and it like drips out into this puddle of black ooze on the floor. And you can see you pretty much clean out the inside of the armor, um, but you're not sure if that did it. You know, it's the armors look still the same.
Well, if there is a way to see if curse still holds.
Do you put it on?
No.
No.
Smash it again.
And once again, your cake just bounces off.
Okay. So what should we keep it with us? Should we bury it? Like throw it in the sea? What?
Maybe we could bring it to Xantos. Maybe he could do something with it.
Well, he's
Probably a
more
good idea, I
he's
guess.
more powerful cleric than either of us here, so he probably should have a healthy supply of holy water.
At least back in town, we can like put it in a cage or something, in case it reforms before we can deal with it.
And yeah, I think wow. Okay, she's just gone. She's gone. I think I like to think that like Ketra's kind of been busying herself with this, with like her back to Drava. But now that this business is taken care of, she kind of has to like give more attention to her, and yeah, you can see she kind of has like she probably looks very stoic at the moment. But she just stands there for a moment or two and then says, "And what are we going to do with her?"
Well, the only proper thing is to get it back to the town, and I mean, she at least deserves to serve a good final rites.
Have any of you ever hauled an unconscious body around before?
No.
Well,
It's a lot of work.
Well, there's 4 of us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's a long ladder and an even longer walk, but
well, Sevro, do you by any chance have one of those floating disc spells?
I'm sure I could figure it out. I need to re-prepare my spells, but I could do that.
Severo, as a reminder, this whole time in the background, I mean, obviously your attention is bound by Drava's fate and getting your companions back on their feet. But this whole time, the runes on your arms are just screaming in your mind. There's this like burning sensation. It's like they're pulling you into this room. And you really have to fight hard to keep down the urge to just, leave your friends to their fate and deal with this room.
I think while Toren has like pulled it apart and Ketra is pouring the holy water down the beast's maw, as it were, I think then Sevro is like starting to like move around and like look for the source of this burning, or like trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why it's reacting so heavily to this room.
Okay. Yeah, and it is almost pulling you apart. You don't even know where to begin, really. There's so many things here. Books, scrolls, tablets, everything. It's clearly Thessalonian as indicated by the Sahedron, so it's an intellectual tease for you. but also like almost physical. Those runes are just pulling you in and towards the desk. And as you inspect the desk, you like let your hands run through the materials here that Ripnugget clearly was having read to him or reading himself. Another clear sign that he was more than just a goblin or no longer a goblin. Um, and you come across this piece of parchment, and you like stop dead in your movements as you move the scrolls around, searching through the desk because it jumps out at you because you recognize the handwriting because it's yours.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, it's literally the way you write. You see the way that you write your capital L's, has this slight little backslant or whatever. This is how you write. But you definitely have not written this piece of parchment. This is so old. It is much older than you, thousands of years, most likely. There's absolutely no explanation for this. And the parchment says just a single word: Lira Laru.
Oh. I think he probably sits down with that, looking at it. Especially seeing it in his handwriting, he's completely befuddled.
Toren will
Yeah.
understandably conclude that he is just way too shocked from the passing of his friend, so he just pat him on his shoulder, nod understandably, and move along the room to see if anything useful can be salvaged.
Yeah. Well, one thing you notice, because it kind of stands out, is that in that eastern alcove, there are two hideous-looking dead bodies lying in a heap
Oh.
on that platform. And they've clearly been lying there for a while. You realize that they are sin spawn.
Do we know,
Other than
like, mechanically what sin spawn are?
why don't we do a recall knowledge? Because, like I said, you know them from stories, and you've encountered a particular variety before, but there are different kinds. So let's take a look at what you actually know about them.
Uh,
Why not?
I'm mostly interested if this room has any tapestries that could be appropriate.
Yeah, hang on for a while, for a moment here. If I have more. Quillip and Sevro, you know a little bit more about this particular variety, while the rest of you are probably just content with knowing, like, ugh, there's some sort of Thessalonian flesh warped monster, crazy wizard stuff, whatever. Um, but yeah, Sevro and Quillip, you at some point probably looked deeper into it for whatever reason. And you know that that Sin Spawn were created by the Rune Lords themselves, or very powerful minions of them. And they, depending on which Rune Lord created them, they kind of took different shapes, or they were made to take different shapes. And the shape was inspired by the sin that powered the respective Rune Lord's magic. So the first Sin Spawn were so-called Wrath Spawn because they were created by the Rune Lord of Wrath. And these look like they may have been Greed Spawn. So created by the Rune Lord of Greed. They are created through an alchemical magical mishmash process, which is called flesh warping. They basically start with humanoid creatures and then warp them into the horrific things that you now see here on the chamber floor. They're in a way that
interesting.
they are greed-given sinful flesh.
That's what I was thinking when called him Sizbon. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And okay, let me see another thing here. So Toren, as you look around for some sort of tapestry, I assume you're looking for something basically to use as a shroud for Drava to like wrap her up.
Dramatically
Yeah.
rip it off the off the wall and throw over Drava.
Right. Yeah, so as you're looking around for something, you're realizing like, wait a second, tapestry. And you like turn around again to look at the armor, and you're putting things together and you realize, oh, that's what you saw. You know, the burning Sandpoint burning, the 7 stars falling. You have the 7-star here. Remember that fragment of tapestry that Jabal handed you after you put out the fire? And that piece, maybe it's still in your backpack. That piece had a strange figure wreathed in flames on it, and it didn't really make much sense to you at the time. But then also remember Jabal's words. She's told you you're walking toward it now.
Yeah.
This is not a warning, it's an observation. And here you are. You just put down this creature, this figure wreathed in flames. It's all coming together.
It does. Like, actually, I think that a piece of the of tapestry is sealed in his gate attenuator, so he will he'll unlock it and take a look to compare it a little bit, but and he will fall into deep thoughtful state, I guess. Pondering the visions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there are no tapestries or carpets or rugs in this room. I will say among all the sin spawn you put down here, there's probably enough because you know they are dressed in a layer of clothing and then armor on top. So you could probably scrounge something together to wrap Drava up in
If
you know.
Thorin mentions that, Quillip is going to pull out his bedroll and use it to cover her first.
Yeah, I suppose he will eventually, like, as he concludes his rumination, he will like take a look over the chamber, and he will tick a bit and say, "Hey, I want to find something to cover her," and at that point, I suppose it will be Quillip's cue.
Yeah.
Because Toren himself has no bedroll on him of any kind.
All right, but given Quillip's camping supplies here, you managed to cover Drava in at least somewhat clean cloth. Sevro, you're still holding that note in your hand, staring at the word that's clearly written in your own handwriting, and you realize that the runes are no longer as aggressively itchy and pulling you, and like, you know, it almost feels like they were trying to point you to this, and now that you found it, they seem satisfied. Which I guess, you know, there's still plenty in this room that strikes your interest, but you don't feel this
It's no longer
compulsion.
physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tucks in the handwriting that looks like tucks the like parchment into his, I don't know, pocket, whatever he has, and stands up and is like, "All right, I can prepare that disc spell, carry all, but I might need some time. Can we wait here, or do you think we need, to get out quick?
How much time?
That's a good question. I think I can do it with an hour to prepare it. Let me double check, because I think I have a feat that does just this.
Wait, you can swap a spell? That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, an hour would be the occasion for me to tend to our wounds a bit more.
Spell substitution,
Yes.
is it?
Yeah, spell substitution. I can do it 10 minutes, even, actually. And I still need to pick one ancestry feat that we just got. But yes, I do have spell substitution.
That is very, very nice. That actually makes a prepared caster so much more fun to play. It's just 10 minutes.
Definitely. So yeah, I can spend 10 minutes to prepare a spell to carry our dead friend out of here.
So what do we do for these minutes?
Quillip will try to get Toren to sit down. Actually, Toren first can Carnes, can you see if Toren is under treat wounds immunity?
No, and I think my robust health reduces that anyway.
Oh, to just 10 minutes?
Wait, no, it it reduces immunity to battle medicine.
Okay.
No, but
All
either
right.
way, I'm under Commander's Banner, I'm under Lantern, but not under Treat Wounds immunity. So
Okay, well, Quillip will offer to look at your wounds.
yes, please. And now it applies Treat Wounds immunity.
Ketra?
Well, I'm under treat wounds immunity. I don't know from what, but
Well, we did have to stop by after dealing with Cruncher, I think. Have a couple of these. And he's gonna... Could you set the time forward by 10 minutes, Simon, please?
So you just... Okay, but what are you doing for those 10 minutes? I know that Sevro is working on swapping out his spell, but what are the others doing?
So for Quillip, first 10 minutes would be healing Toren. Second 10 minutes, taking care of Ketra.
Okay.
I guess during that first 10 minutes, Ketra's first thought is like she sees these weird what are they called? Septograms?
Sihedron.
Sihedrons? Septograms. Something like that. Sihedrons. And she sees like this pile of bodies, and probably she's just trying to get a sense of like, what is this room, and could anything like magically appear in here and attack us, basically, while we're in here. So I don't know what kind of check that would be.
Yeah.
She's assessing the defensibility of the room and the potential for enemies to like magically appear.
Yes. Do you have a lore that might be relevant here? Otherwise, I'll just go with perception.
I have a warfare lore. I
Okay.
don't know if that's relevant.
Yeah, no, go with it.
I always kind of like think of her warfare lore as being a little bit, not literally directly warfare, but
No, just like more like tactical combat sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me find it.
I think if you do a recall knowledge, that'll include it too. So
Okay, yeah, I'll just roll recall knowledge. Maybe I clicked it.
Here we go. Got it. Okay. Well, the room strikes you as a strategically actually very advantageous position. I mean, yes, you have your backs to the wall, but as you just experienced during this battle, the bottleneck right outside the front door is very helpful to defenders because attackers have to line up in the passage right outside the door while defenders can spread out a little bit more inside the room. And then even if the attackers make it into the room, there's still the like 3x3 square area that is they spill into first, where you can create kind of a kill zone. So you think that amongst all the places you've been in the warrens here so far, or in this goblin lair, this might be the position that's the easiest to fortify. You're a little unsure. I mean, there's obviously all these books and scrolls and tablets that I'm not sure if you're interested in that are lying around. And there are these bodies in a corner where you notice that they also have the same huge, brutal, sliced cuts on them that brought down Drava. So you would suspect that Rib Nugget killed these two. You're not sure what either of those alcoves are supposed to be. It doesn't strike you as anything that helps to defend this place. There are no shelves there, so it doesn't seem to have any scholarly purpose. It just strikes you as an odd architectural feature of the room.
And just to be clear, these sin spawn, did they seem to be the ones that we fought? We did fight some of them just now, you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Did they seem to be working with Rip Nugget, or were...
Yes, he commanded them. He told them what to do.
And the ones that he was commanding are the same as the dead ones here?
They looked the same, yes. The dead ones have been dead for a longer period of time. And it's even was apparently the relationship was that dominating. When you first came in here, he was sitting at the desk and one of these sin spawns was reading to him. Like
okay.
going through the yes.
I forgot that.
What was it reading?
One of these books on the table.
Okay, Ketra will, if she has any additional time, she's going to just like scan over the contents of the table and see what they were reading.
Sure. What's Toren doing in the meantime? Or are you getting patched up, right?
Yeah, I'm just getting patched up, and the other is just 10 minutes, so... I mean, those 10 minutes can be also accounted for seeking for tapestries and other things.
Yes, okay, so I just skipped ahead 10 minutes. We can remove the sickened condition at this point for Toren. He would have recovered from this by now. And, Ketra, you rifled through the books there. Let me check your languages.
Oh, wait a minute. Treat wounds should remove my wounded condition as well.
Only if you... it does it? I think that's only when you get to full health.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
Oh, Ketra actually speaks Thessalonian. That is somewhat surprising, but very helpful in this case. So you look through the books here. I'm gonna keep this a little easier. So I'm gonna show you the collection here. You can look at it. It's a big collection of books, scrolls, and tablets, and all sorts of stuff. A couple of items stand out, which I listed separately here. So there's this clearly magical ring. There is a book that stands out just because it is, the cover is so artistically made. It shows a female figure peering through her blindfold. And the book itself is, very stately. Whereas the rest of the material is also well preserved and looks like a treasure trove. of knowledge about Thessalonian, but it's just so much, and it's all kind of, scholarly history writing. I'm not sure how interested Ketra is in that. But in addition to those, you find also a couple of scrolls that look like the usual magical mumbo jumbo. And yeah, so you should be able to loot that collection if you want to.
Yeah, Ketra is like looking over all of this stuff, and some of, I don't know, you might hear her like quietly mumbling words to herself as she's scanning over them, and she's being very careful. Like she's not touching any of the books directly. She's just kind of like glancing over, and she notes the ring and all of the things here, and I guess a large stack of spell scrolls.
Sevro hears
And-
Ketra mumbling these Thessalonian words and like has to put earmuffs over himself to figure out how to swap spells because he's like, what do you say? Just stop.
Was one of them like sitting open, like explicitly this is what was being read from, or
Yeah, one of it is still open. And the subject matter, it is Thessalonian in nature. It's not entirely clear to you what it is describing. It seems like some esoteric academic topic, probably something magic related.
Okay. I don't know how you want to play this. I don't know what the other people are doing, but if it's possible, Ketra might want to try to pocket that quietly.
Oh.
Fuck.
That book that he was reading, or that he had read to him?
Yeah.
Just that one?
I mean, I don't think she can realistically pocket a bunch of books. So, I mean, I think of all of the things, they're the things that immediately catch her attention, or whatever was being read, and that one you said with the woman with the blindfold.
Yeah.
Female figure with the blindfold. Those seem like the two things that she's like, what is this?
Okay. Well, the one with the nice looking cover, you realize actually is empty, like has empty pages.
Oh, okay. Then, well, I don't know. That makes it even more suspicious. Probably, I guess the one that was being read from.
Okay. I mean, Quillip is definitely distracted. So is Sevro, because he's working on his spell book. I guess realistically, the only one who might notice you is Toren. So why don't you do? Is there? Yeah, I guess stealth. No, wait, thievery is the thing now,
Is
right?
it the thievery?
Yeah, thievery against Toren's perception DC.
I don't even know if I'm trained in thievery. I'll be honest. I don't know if this is a bad idea or not.
I don't think you have to be, but the DC is 22.
Ooh. Okay. It's probably fine. Oh, hang on. I'm over encumbered on my sheet right now because I added that breastplate to my sheet, but it seems like I'm not carrying it around right now since we're like cleaned it out.
Yeah, you want to drop that.
How can I just click and drag it onto the map? Will that work?
Yeah. Yes, you should be able to do that. There was probably a button you have to push. Let me check. Controls, because the droppeth.
Change carry type dropped.
No, that won't drop it onto the ground.
It's technically still on my sheet, but I think now it's not treating it like I'm carrying it.
Right. If you hold down your left control and you drag it onto the scene, that'll be better because then we actually see it. And then
okay, there we go.
Right. Yeah.
So just over wherever we were working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that I'm no longer clumsy,
Mm-hmm.
Try to nap this thing. 22.
That's the DC. Yep.
Can I give myself anything additional?
There is a macro you can use. We'll go with palm and object, and you got to target Toren.
Oh, this is complicated. Okay. How do I add an action? Browse.
Does Pathfinder
Palm.
still
It's
include
on the
the
basic
penalties for
ones for me.
distance to perception?
Yeah, it'll figure it out.
It's technically it's like what you I don't know. I don't know how it works. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do so I target Toren
Uh-huh.
and then I do palm and object.
Yep.
Okay, well that didn't actually roll anything, so let me
Right.
Well,
Hit the
use that,
thievery
that is
macro
a
in there.
Jack's link, yeah.
Should I make it secret
Sure.
or does it not matter?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll know.
All right, here we go. Oh.
Okay. So, I mean, it is.
I should use my hero point.
But, well, the thing is that, I mean, all this means is that Toren sees you take a book and put it into your bag, or like put it into I don't know, I guess you try to hide it, so you probably put it somewhere on your body, which might be a little bit odd,
Yeah.
but I don't know what Toren makes of that.
I'm gonna roll it here. I'm gonna do the hero. I want to do the hero.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
If I die for this later, then I deserve it.
Wow.
No, that's my initiative. Damn it, no, that's not what I want. It's getting worse.
So you're willing to fight for it, huh?
Reroll using a hero point. Oh my god. Okay, well. All right, well that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Ketra like tries to be smooth, and the book's a little awkward, so she just like fumbles it even harder and like bumps the chair a little bit, and then she turns, and she like tries to straighten out her coat and her armor and stuff real subtly, and she's like, there's some interesting things over here that I just noticed.
Catalog it.
There's a lot of stuff in Thessalonian and a ring and a weird book with a lady with a blindfold on, but she's looking out from behind the blindfold. And do you want me to list all of them?
No, just write them down.
There's a bunch of scrolls.
On this, but I'll look after.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so after this very awkward attempt to nick this book quietly, she then points out the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, so Toren, you did notice that Ketra pocketed this book. I mean, make of that what you will.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure Toren has any conception of what to make of this, but he will just shrug at this point. I think his mind is preoccupied with other things right now.
Right.
Like if this book comes up later, he will remember this.
Okay. So you just take a mental note, like, weird, but you don't really address it. All right. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes later. Quillip, your treat wounds should be over now.
Yep.
That?
Oh no, it's already been rolled.
Oh, it has already been rolled. Okay. There you
go. And in that time, he got a couple of vials back that he's going to mix up and hand over to Ketra. Hopefully it works. Okay. Okay, yes. So that worked, and then he can mix a second one.
The 18 for Ketra?
Yep.
Okay.
And the 17 too.
And the 17 too. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, she needed that pretty badly. Well, she looks like she's in much better shape after she drinks those. And she nods appreciatively.
Ketra, here, I'll tell you something that happens. So you grab that first elixir of life, you down it, and that like sweet taste ripples through your body, making you feel a little better. You grab another one, you knock it back, and you look back down, and your eyes fall onto one of the sconces. And for a brief moment there, the flame in the sconce flickers. Not because there's a draft, or at least you don't feel one. And then for just like half a heartbeat, you see a shape in the flame, like a red hawk or some sort of bird of prey. The wings half folded, kind of like tucked, perched somewhere high. You can't quite see, but it's like it's watching you from the flames. And again, just for a split second, and then it's flame again, and it just burns as it did before. And you like, maybe it was a side effect of the magic taking an effect, but you've never before had hallucinations from drinking Quillip's concoctions.
Okay. Well, she blinks a couple times, and she's gonna look at the sconce a little harder. Like, do these look like they have like some sort of fuel in them and they've been lit and they're burning, or do they look like they're more magical somehow?
They're pretty clearly magical. They don't emit any heat. They don't seem have any fuel source.
Yeah, so she's just going to like inspect the sconce more closely. I think there's part of her that thinks she might just be seeing things because of things she's just been through, but
yeah,
she's a little embarrassed to be like, "Hey, I saw a hawk in the flames. Everyone want to look?"
Yeah.
She's just gonna.
You look into the sconce. The sconces themselves, they're of Thessalonian make. I'm not sure if you'd be able to appreciate it. Probably, since you know apparently quite a bit about Thessalonian, enough to speak the language. So they fit the theme of the room, and the flames don't strike you as special in any other way. You've probably seen this sort of Everlight spell effects before, and nothing really stands out to you. So maybe it was just a weird side effect.
Toren also will like come up, like poke at the flame, and say he'll say like, "Nah, these are fake flames. They're beyond my purview."
It's like, yeah, this is illusion magic, right? Or is it some other sort of like transmutation? Like what? She kind of looks to the magic caster. It's like, how does this work?
We don't use those words anymore.
Yeah.
I know, but like, if you were to think back, like a couple years ago, how would you have labeled this?
Yeah, several will look at him, and I mean, I imagine it's some sort of, I don't know. Well, how would he describe it to her?
You would describe it as it's magic that creates a little bit of light from the material component is a little gemstone, but it gets consumed in when you cast the spell, essentially, and it is available to all traditions: arcane, divine, occult, primal. Each one of the traditions could harness their magic to create this. It's a light effect.
He's explaining all this, and he's like, I've written some of it. I don't have the full spell, but he's like flipping through his spell book. He's like, I could show you my shorthand on it, but I don't have the full spell. Why do you care?
Okay. Well, it's fine. No, it's fine. Now I've made a big deal out of this. I thought I just saw something in the flames here. That's all. For a moment, it looked like a hawk, like a red hawk. I mean, it's made of flame, so I guess it's red. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I think this place is getting to me.
You're not thinking of a phoenix.
Phoenixes are fire-like. That makes sense.
I don't know. It was some sort of bird that looked kind of like a hawk and was made of flame because it was in the flame. I don't know if the flame was part of what I saw or if it's just because I saw it in the flames. You know what I mean?
Sevro goes up to the flame and like runs his like quill through it and is like studying it intensely.
Was it
Sure.
Simon? Was it this one, Simon, or this one? Just out of curiosity.
That was this one. Yeah.
Oh, was that one? Okay.
Yeah, you like wave the feather to it. It doesn't really interact with the light or the flames. It just kind of goes right through. Classic Everlight.
Curious.
I think I'm just I don't know.
And then he looks at Ketra like a psychiatrist and scribbles some notes down.
Tell me more about your mother. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's being very careful this entire time, just to be clear, not to step on that septedron. She's walking around it the whole time. She does not trust that thing.
Floor is lava style.
Yeah, but I don't know. Should somebody else can look at stuff. She points out the stuff on the desk in case anyone's interested.
Yeah, I mean the item collection here is on the desk, but this represents the materials that are spread across all of the desks and shelves and stuff. So
okay.
The collection of books, scrolls, and tablets that's in here with 12 bulk, that's basically everything in this room, all over the place.
Oh yeah, can we even take that much?
Well, with your carry-all, you might be able to transport it out of here, but it holds up to 5 bulk of objects. So
Toren conceivably can
take your
carry
knowledge.
12, but that would be his. No, that would be my max bulk. So I will be encumbered all the way back.
Well, yeah, the carry-all we can take. What is it? 5 bulk that we can take?
Yeah, it does
5
say.
bulk and Drava, so there would be only a little bit left.
That's true. Yeah.
But you can't even carry Drava on it, right? Holds up to 5 bulk of objects. Yeah, so it can't carry Drava.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the bulk of medium creatures?
A small creature, I think, is typically considered 3 bulk. I think the medium one. I thought a medium one is usually considered 5 without any stuff.
Back then, when I tried to push cruncher, the large creature was 12 bulk, but medium, I forget.
Might be 6.
Bulk of
medium 6.
6. It is 6. Yes. So you're just outside the range. You would need a heightened carry-all to carry enough.
Well, that's okay. We can throw some stuff on there. I mean, the breastplate is like 3 bulk, and we want to take that back to town, so...
Well, yeah. I'll carry Drava then.
Let me help lighten the load by taking some of the other stuff off of her first.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ketra does genuinely want to, like... She does want to take anything she thinks will help them off of Drava. She's like, not... I don't think she's being disrespectful. She's not like, just going through all of her pockets. She's not trying to take any of her esoterica or anything like that. She's just
I think this
like anything that she thinks might help us get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Best to describe it is that we take off her backpack and head it over to someone
Yeah,
else.
probably. Yeah, she's not like trying to take the rings off her fingers or anything, but she is like, okay, are there any potions? Are there any weapons? Like all of that stuff.
Yeah, she is still. I mean, she has it stowed on, had it stowed on her back, but she is carrying that +1 striking ranseur that you took
Yeah,
off.
she just had that ranseur this entire time for no reason, which Ketra's still like, I don't know why. But,
Um,
um,
and you know her esoteric and all that stuff. But rifling through her backpack, the only things you recognize or you think might be helpful is a lesser anti-plague that she's carrying.
okay,
That's pretty much it, and the rest is just like assorted knickknacks and thingamajigs. It's a very weird person's adventuring kit.
Yeah, well, this is no surprise to Ketra, but she, yeah, I guess she'll kind of hold up the what is it, anti-plague,
Yes, the lesser anti-plague.
and I think I already have one actually from the whole ghoul fever thing. Do I? No, I don't. I think I used it maybe. So she'll kind of like set that aside and kind of like look to Quillip like, is this something you want to hold on to? And she's gonna like take the ranseur though. I don't think it's of any use to anyone else, and it's only of marginal use to Ketra even. But she's like, at least I know how to use this thing. And that's also probably pretty heavy too, right? So that takes some of the weight off the situation, so to speak.
While that is happening, Quillip is going to like walk a circle around the room, try to see if he can notice anything.
Yeah, you look around. Like I said, there's various things spread across the tables that are just kind of all summarized in that collection. Books, scrolls, tablets, that ring, as I've pointed out before. But you don't spot any like hidden compartments or secret doors or anything like that. You're also just confused or somewhat intrigued by the little alcoves with the Sihedron in there, and clearly must have some special significance, because why would they put him in this weird spot? But there's nothing else in there, so kind of strange.
Are they magic? He's asking Sevro.
Asking if the books are magic?
No, the little platforms.
That's a good question. Does Sevro think there?
Why don't you give me a recall knowledge check? Okay, then I'm assuming you're spending some time on responding to that, because that means like, actually, because your detect magic would only tell you that there's magic somewhere around here in this room. So if you really want to answer that question, you have to go and kind of take a close look at them. Is that what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think Severo wants to get to the bottom of these books as quick as possible, but he also knows like now is not the time. So, but I think he would answer this question because this seems relevant.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes about 10 minutes. So what are the others doing in that time?
I guess we're just preparing Drava for transportation.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think Ketra's been busy making enough trouble, so.
All right, so yeah, you just kind of prepare Ketra, try to find a graceful way to bundle her up and make her easy enough to carry and handle, knowing that one of you will have to carry her. And Severo, you inspect the platform, or both of them actually, and you come to a conclusion here, and it may be a little bit may seem a little bit far-fetched at first, but hear me out here. So you think that these things are indeed magic, and you think that they might be teleporters. At least they were at some point, because there's not. You don't think that they're currently active. There's just nothing about them that gives you that tingle that you have come to learn comes with magic around you. But even though they are right now defunct, there's probably a way to restore them in some form or another. But that would probably take some research to figure that out.
Yeah, Sevro thinks that. I'll just lay with Sevro and Matt to a lesser extent, but Sevro's smarter than Matt probably. He thinks this is all connected to the Hellstorm focus in some way or another. Like this is all something that needs a power source. There's a huge battery we don't know how to use. It's got to be connected, but he doesn't know exactly how or in what machinations.
Wait,
But Sevro's like, this is all related to that stupid room, and this is another room like that other room, and I want to understand, but I can't. I don't get it yet, but I will.
You mean the room with the guys that were on fire?
Yes, that room.
Okay, the guys on fire room. Got it.
That's also known as the giant battery that we don't know how to use yet. / weapon.
Yeah. Right, the guy on fire room and the undead goblin.
Let's just call it the
room.
weapons of mass destruction room, because I think that's what it is.
Yeah, a theory starts to, or your theory just keeps confirming itself, Sevro.
Yep, it's weird how that happened.
Yeah.
Sevro likes some easy confirmation bias.
What a scientific mind.
And as Sevro excitedly shares his confirmation by his findings, he the group finishes up preparing Drava for travel.
Can you make those items from Drava available? Because we can't see them on our sheet or anything.
Yeah, you
Yes.
have to drag it into our inventory instead.
So what do you want me to? So the anti-plague that goes to Ketra.
If nobody else wants it, I'll just hold on to it. And the Rancer.
Also goes to Ketra. Okay. I think that
Again, if nobody fights her first, Ketra's like, does anyone want a giant polearm weapon? I don't think this is going to work well for any of you, but
that's right. Okay, I think I got both of those over to you.
Yeah, we really
Okay.
need to scratch those runes of the transfer and reapply them somewhere.
And the breastplate is gonna go on the carry-all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? The Rancer better, unless there's something else going on the carry-all, the Rancer can go on there because that's actually putting me overweight. But
okay.
if you guys are trying to put something else on there, that's fine. She can just deal with the encumbered for a bit.
No, at the outside I thought I was going to carry Drava, but if it can't, then it should just carry all the loot we can out of here.
Okay. Then.
So I'm gonna put a container on your sheet here called carry-all, and that is just, what is it? It's not worn. It's nothing really. So it's just other, I guess. And we should be able to add the Rancer. Where is it? There it is.
It's in my inventory right now. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And
no, you just took the dog slicer.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Give me back my dog slicer. That's light.
So is it worn? Yeah. And the Rancer should be stowed, and once it's stowed, we can move it into the carry-all. And I think now it's no longer applying, is it? Oh, I see. We can drop the carry-all, and then it doesn't apply. Yes, that worked.
Oh, you put it in my inventory. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
right. That's fine.
And I guess I'm going to put the breastplate there as
Yeah, just
well.
throw the breastplate there for now, and that's 5 bulk.
That is 3 bulk on the breastplate. So that also goes into stowed. And once it's stowed, it goes into your carry-all. And okay, that works.
While Sevro was inspecting the teleportation rings, so that was 10 minutes, Quillip would have refreshed a couple of vials, which he's going to use to make elixirs for Toren.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And that's 2.
And now
Look,
this much more.
is really nobody gonna take this ring and this book with the weird cover?
Oh, I want the ring. Forgot about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that seems like a Sevro thing.
And also probably, I mean, he wants the. I think he probably wants the. Wait, didn't you pocket the book or no?
I pocketed a book. I don't actually know
Not
what the
that book?
contents of it are, but this book with the figure on it is not. That's not it. It's a
Not
different
the
book.
one you. Okay. I mean, I will take those things.
The ring and the Codex of Unimpeded Sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't take the other stuff, but I think Severo would be as interested, if not more, in that.
Yeah, the other
Now
stuff,
that
like
we
I
can
said,
get
that
more.
represents basically everything in this room. This room is
That makes
essentially
sense.
a little library of sorts. So that
I
is
have to
that.
come back for that.
Yep. And regarding the codex you just took, I don't want to go into too much detail about that right now, but I'm just going to throw a link in here in the Discord. So this is a grimoire. So you can copy some of the short of it is that you could use it as a spell book, and spells you prepare from this grimoire may get a bonus. So if you copy all of your divination
Oh,
spells into
cool.
it and prepare them from this thing, you get a bonus when you cast them. So you can figure out the details later because it's not really relevant right now. But yeah, it's a very special
Yeah.
spell book basically, and it currently has no spells inside. It's just an empty book.
I was going to ask if the adventure mentions that there's spells in or not.
It explicitly says it is empty.
Empty. Okay.
I believe that's what I. Let me double check. Yes, an empty Codex of Unimpeded Sight.
The
What a day for Severo. Here we go.
the only
Yeah.
other thing, like I imagine, as we're like getting Drava prepared and you know sorting out all this stuff and piling it up, Ketra is going to be reviewing with the others. Remember, we're getting out of here. We're not in any condition to get in a scrape, so if we do run into anything, we're in full retreat. Toren, well, all of you really, I'll do my best to cover you, but just remember, we don't linger, or else we're going to end up leaving more behind here. It's already bad enough that we're trying to get Drava out. We don't know what's out there, but she is basically just going to run through all of the commands that she's preparing, the tactics, which are just going to be defensive retreat, passage of lines, and I guess still strike hard because that's just always useful. So
Yeah, I mean, Toren will
It never
really
fails there.
solemnly nod and agree, but Karnasna right now has a very disrespectful thought of getting into a scrape and fighting with a corpse.
you listen to me, Toren. You drop her, okay? The minute anything happens, you drop her. And that's it. I guess she'll take the lead unless somebody else wants to.
Very well.
Normally it's Drava and Toren in the lead. Ketra's happy to be in like the middle, but this is not a.
You were in the lead a little bit last time too, because no one wanted to go in the front.
great.
All right, so carrying Drava over your shoulders, Toren, the follow Ketra and Sevro through that damned hallway into the former goblin throne room and further into the little antechamber there.
God, there's still a whole other door here.
Yeah. And as you go into the last antechamber here, you see Tunch, and he's kind of in a corner. There's Sausage, like all curled up, snoring, and Tunch is busy taking some samples from some of the killed goblins that are still splayed across this room from a previous battle. And as you come in, he looks up and says, "Oh, you survived. Well, okay, I guess not all of you survived. She ate it, huh? A real bummer."
Yeah. So, what are you going to do now?
Me? Sure. Huh. Good question. I don't know. I guess I'll go somewhere. I have ideas. I've been thinking, he says, and he taps his head with his scalpel. I'll find a way. I tend to find a way. This is not my first tribe.
Are you sure you don't want to join us? We have an opening.
We do have an opening.
I don't. And he
Seem
looks
trustworthy.
at the bundle on Torrent's back, like Drava's dead face broken out a little bit. He says, like, and he looks around at all of the killed goblins that are in the room, and he goes, "I don't think I really, I don't think we have the same style." He says very diplomatically.
Listen,
Ketra
I'd like to
shrugs.
buy sausage. How much? How much?
You want to buy her? And he looks over to Sausage,
I think,
and then
I think I would take very good care of her.
he says, I have to share a little secret with you. I don't think she actually likes me.
That's okay. I don't think she would like me either. But I think that she could be a good companion.
Yeah, maybe. She just kept following me ever since I found this thing here. And he rummages through his pack, and he gets out what looks like a children's toy of like a it's plush. It's made from like nice fur materials, and it looks like a sausage. And he holds it out to you. It's like this big, so fills the goblin hand, and he says, ever since I found this thing, she just kind of she's been keeping close to me. So, so you wanted? Yeah, I'll tell you
How
what.
much?
How about you take this instead of the grasshopper?
That works for me. Did someone take the grasshopper? I can't remember.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
What was that, a
That's okay with
talisman or
everyone
something?
else?
Yeah, it was some jumping talisman, I think.
Can give you guys
Yeah.
gold to recompensate you.
No, that you go.
Compensate.
You go for it, Sevro. That's all you.
Deal then. Yeah, totally.
All right, here you go, he says, and he tosses over that little toy sausage, and you catch it, and it goes squeak as you grab it and squeeze it, and sausage like whoop, perks up, and the giant weasel like weasels over here, and it looks at you expectantly, and it looks at that sausage, and it looks at you, and it goes like growling a little bit.
And Severo gives him some food from his ration, some meat. Like if he has a jerky or something, he gives him some of that. He's not going to
Okay.
give him the sauce yet, in case.
So you hold up the sausage, like look around with the free hand for some food scraps, and you toss them at sausage. And the weasel, like, still eyeing that little toy up there, but it also like scoops up the food from the ground and it, just like with Tunch, it doesn't seem to love you, but whoever
Sevro's
wields the
okay.
sausage, yeah.
Don't stand
All
too
right.
close to him. Party.
And Tunch shrugs and says, "Well, I guess I'm all alone now." Looks around the chamber, all the dead goblins, and watches you leave alongside his companion. All right, so you leave the Whistlefang lair behind for now. You get a reward for defeating Ribnugget, who was a significant danger to Sandpoint. I'm going to reveal to you that we can consider him the first Doom.
Oh,
Ooh.
You have prevented his certainly imminent attack, his second and final raid on the town, and you get 120 XP.
Nice.
interesting. Okay.
And
I mean, it makes
oh,
sense, but yeah.
yeah. And over time, so this is not necessarily an instantaneous effect, but just so we don't forget about it, over time, word will spread of your success, and you will gain reputation points with the Sandpoint Mercantile League. And you will gain reputation with the Town Watch for keeping the peace, and you will gain some reputation with the townsfolk, because who does not love a good story of an undead goblin being put down by local heroes? Uh, wait, did I? Oops. Townsfolk, there we are. Okay. Well, and we can deal with what that means mechanically when we get there. But for now, I assume you're gonna travel back or start traveling back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just morning when we descended, so it. Yeah.
That's right. It's still in the morning. And from the pit to Sandpoint, it's not too far. But again, on your way here, you didn't exactly take the most effective way to get there. Um, so you expect a little bit of time for the trip back. However, you have to go a little slower to let give Toren a chance to keep up with the rest of the group as he's carrying Drava, and you make good progress. And once you're, let me see how far from town that is. Um, hang on. No, okay, so let's jump straight there just to, kind of give you a little bit more of an idea of, you have to move across the Devil's Platter, and then there's that escarpment that you need to make your way down. You have a rope, so you can, it's easy enough to secure it up there to find a good spot to go down, but the body makes things a lot more difficult. It has to be lowered down on a rope, and you have to work together to maneuver it all down. And trying to do this in a dignified way is certainly challenging. Um, Finally, though, on the horizon, the cathedral in town is already visible from afar. And you see smoke rise from the cathedral. And for quite a few moments, all of you, I think, are somewhat uh, alarmed because it's like, what? Wait, smoke? Where there's smoke, there's fire. But you realize, like, oh no, all right, everybody, calm down. We just had a really bad experience, but that little bit of smoke that you see there is definitely not a fire. It just means that there's a lot of people. And you realize that, oh, this must be the town meeting, the council meeting that was supposed to happen. So in front of you, you basically have a choice to make here. You because you're at a fork in the road, pretty much literally and figuratively. I don't know if you're thinking of that, but I'm just gonna give you that option here. Niela's cottage, Drava's mother, is to the south. So you could take a left here and make your way towards her home to return Drava. Or you could head into town with Drava's body. What do you want to do?
To be honest, as Toren, he probably is ambivalent to either way because it will count as respectful on both ends for him. So it's up to you guys.
I think we have to go to her mother.
Yeah, we all visited the mom, right? We all know where she lives.
Yeah, on your way out. Yeah.
Look, she was killed by an undead, right? She's not gonna like come back.
Well, not right away at least. So we still have time to get Father Xantos.
Okay, if you say so.
I mean, at least we probably should do it before sunrise.
I mean, she wasn't bitten or anything. She took strikes.
Look, I don't know
from a
how this
weapon.
stuff works. You just told me that armor's gonna turn into undead, so I don't know what to think.
I think she's fine. I mean, she's not fine. She's dead, but she's fine relative to not coming back as a Death Knight or whatever anytime soon. Grave Knight.
I don't know. For all I know, she'll come back as something anyway. She's so weird. Fine.
She was really weird.
She's gonna haunt me just so she can keep asking me weird questions.
She probably is. You probably should get a tarot deck.
No, I don't think she wants a harrow deck. I don't think I want a harrow deck. It's just gonna attract her. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the Niela. Is that her name?
Niela, yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you get there right around noon. The little cottage is sitting there in that salt-killed garden that you noticed on your way out was kind of weird. It's in such a bad state because otherwise the cottage looks so well kept. The chicken coop with the 3 chickens, smoke coming out of the chimney from a hearth fire. There's the smell of broth on the stove in the air. And as you come closer, the door opens and Niela stands there. And she looks at you. She looks straight at you as you walk up towards her door. And she has a somewhat stony demeanor. And she wipes her hands and says, come in. Bring her in. Lay her on the kitchen table. I have it ready.
Why do you think it was a sign?
And I'm assuming you're playing along?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sevro's very confused, but it's like, okay.
Yeah. She invites you inside, very small little cottage, just an open kitchen, dining room, workshop area, and a curtain hiding the sleeping area. And the kitchen table is cleared. There's a folded sheet on it. There's a basin of water and a small dish of salt and a couple of sprigs of rosemary and other herbs on a stool beside the table. And it's clear that somebody has been setting this up a while ago. And Niela points towards the table and says, "Please put her down here. Careful."
Sevro's just like so confused, and he looks at her and he's like, "You knew?"
And without really looking at you, she just starts unwrapping her daughter's body and gently reaching for her face, running her hand along her cold cheek. But she responds and she says, "Yes, yes, I knew this was going to happen, but I don't know how." Then she looks up and she says, "Tell me, how?"
Yeah.
Uh,
Quillip stops himself from giving the technical bleeding out, leading to loss of blood pressure and all that technical answer.
Okay, and as
with a sigh, Toren will try to say the the truth that she fell in defense of Sandpoint.
so do you mention the Grave Knight? Is that part of the
Uh,
story?
Toren will not. He will just try to keep it short. Others, I don't know if you guys elaborate.
Sevro doesn't voluntarily elaborate, but if asked any questions, he will answer them honestly and over the top. But he won't by himself elaborate. He's freaked out that she knew. He doesn't understand how she could possibly know. So
Okay, so yeah, so as you explain or as you tell the story, she does ask few questions, but she does ask how it happened. And when you mention that Drava called it a grave night only moments before she died, Niela is surprised and she says, "A grave night in the pit." Yes, I knew there were things in the pit. I did not know about that one. And if you continue telling the story and eventually mention that she bled out or that she was cut by that dog slicer, she says, "Oh no." And she digs through the multiple layers of the bedroll materials and all of the sheets you used to wrap her up, and she finds that nasty wound that ultimately caused Drava's death. And she says, "Oh, she bled out. How? All right, okay. That's a way that many mothers die. It's only fitting." Um, and she continues to inspect the body, more carefully unwrapping it, taking the cloth off of Drava, putting it aside, starting to wash the wound a little bit.
did you say many mothers? Was
And
Drava a mother?
she looks up and she like makes eye contact with you for pretty much for the first time, and as if she's like snapping out of it, almost as if she's noticing you're here right now for the first time. Really, she goes like, "Oh, yes. Never mind. I'm. Don't mind me. I was talking to myself. But I do have an ask. I want her here with me, please, in this house. I will just tonight, for me to be with her. I know we'll have to get her to the cathedral and we'll have to bury her, but please not tonight."
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Can Ketra like try to discern a little bit about this because, I mean, she knew Drava was weird, and I think she's now starting to realize the mom is even weirder.
Yeah, you can give me a perception check to sense motive. Secret.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, I thought my. Okay, I guess that's correct.
Yep, I see a number here. Okay. Her grief is real for sure. Yes, she seemed to somewhat expect this, but she did also clearly, she's clearly grieving. She's clearly hurt by this. You don't really sense anything nefarious about her ask here. It really just seems like a mother that wants to spend just a little bit of more time with her daughter before she needs to let her go. But still, the whole thing just sits weirdly with you. Being in this home with Drava splayed across the table like that, it's just such a. Maybe it's just weighing on you. Maybe there's a sense of responsibility for all of this. It's hard to disentangle, but none of this feels really right to you. But you also don't know if you'd feel better if you were to take her away from her mother, because that would also be.
Yeah.
No, Ketra knows something is off, but she also feels like this isn't her. On one hand, it's not her place, but on the other hand, it's also not her problem. So she's kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everyone here is an adult person who has an agency over his own actions. So if your mother wants to do some weird shit, well, I mean,
Who's talking about weird shit? Rosemary and water. Like, what are you?
well, I mean, like, we're not talking about rosemary of water. I mean, we're talking about Drava stuff.
Look, I think it's a fair point. Ketra is kind of on the same boat with Toren. She's like, look, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Some weird's gonna happen tonight when we leave. So she's like, none of my business.
Okay.
Sevro has had no idea that Drava was a mother, and is like, "What the hell?" But all right, that's.
I don't
I guess
I don't think any of us knew that at all, and I still don't know if that's like a euphemism for something or just a reality.
That also stuck out to Ketra, but she's like, I don't know if she said that just cause she's a woman and bleeding out.
Yeah, that's a fine point, right?
It's a weird, yeah.
You're putting that together, that Drava is a mother, because all that her actual mother said is like, oh, that's makes sense because that's how mothers die. But you're putting that together that would mean that Drava is a mother, but that's not what she said.
True.
Yeah, she just said something weird, like mothers often die by bleeding out. She's like, okay, right. Well, that's half of the reason why Ketra's like something weird. It's weird. Okay,
yeah, I mean, Sevro thought it was weird because she knew that her daughter was dead before we got there, and on top of that,
too.
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, and she's a mom, maybe, possibly. Whatever.
Was there any kind of knowledge around town that she was like changeling, or was that sort of secret? I like everyone. I think everyone knew Drava was a little strange, but I don't know if anyone knew her ancestry like that.
I don't think anybody cared enough to really find out what is in her background.
Right. Okay, so it wasn't like common knowledge or something.
No.
Okay, all right. Yeah, in that case, Ketra's just like, this is weird and it's getting weirder, and I'm washing my hands of this.
Yeah. And as you're like all processing this and looking at each other and maybe whispering to yourself, it's like, oh, that's where she got this from. Nyella continues to implore you, and she says, please, just one night with her. I'll personally tell Xantus tomorrow, and I will I will go up to the cathedral and tell him everything. Well, and I'll get some folks out here to bring her to the boneyard, but just tonight. That's all I'm asking.
Well, I suppose we agree. So,
Just so out of game, out of curiosity, is that not a normal thing
To
to have the
keep her
body
here?
stay? Yeah, to have the body stay with the family.
It's not. I mean, it's not. It's not super unusual, you know. But if this had happened within the Sandpoint city limits, basically, a body is discovered that would have been moved as soon as possible to the cathedral. That's where how this usually goes. You don't keep a dead body at home after you know that it's dead.
Okay.
But it's not like forbidden or whatever.
Okay. Well, Quillip is not opposed.
Oh, as long as it's not illegal.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ketra
Sevro thinks
shrugs.
that's the least weird part of it. As even if it might be the most weird, Sevro's like, she knew and then she made some weird comment about moms. Like, what the fuck? But yeah.
Fine. It's not my business anyway.
All right. Thank you so much, she says, and she thanks you profusely, and she continues to clean Drava's body as best as she can.
Look, we may have to tell Father Xantus, though, just because we're about to go in and talk to Father Xantus immediately, and like he's probably going to be like, "Where is Drava?" So,
And
just
she
so you
looks
know.
up. You can give me another perception check. And she you see her stop for a second there as she cleans the body, and then reach for the clean water and wash the rag and continue. And she says, "Oh, that's totally fine. Of course, yes, yes. And it just saves me one trip into town. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you."
You're welcome.
And you take your leave?
I suppose so.
Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, Ketra will just at the door, like before departing, she'll just kind of like stop and awkwardly be like, "I'm sorry for your loss. She seemed like a good daughter, I guess."
Sevro pulls Ketra away at that, I guess. It's like, that's good. You did well.
The I guess is more I don't know what to say rather than I guess she's not a good daughter.
I get that. I don't think she got that, but I get that.
All right. And as you leave her, you gently close the door behind you, walk away from the cottage. You retrieve Sausage, which has killed one of her chickens and is chewing it happily. And you walk away from the cottage towards Sandpoint. And what none of you see is a red seagull landing
Oh,
on top
God.
of the roof of the cottage, looking at your party as you walk towards town, cocking its head, flapping its wings. And that's where we'll end today.
Nice.
All right.